Okay, so I mentioned how I was gonna end up. I mentioned how I was gonna make the plates. So how I'm gonna make the cell. Okay, in the end, this is somewhat what it's gonna look like. Okay, notice you see a set of plates shoved over. Notice the way I have the arrangement. One side is shoved over, the other is the same thing. Um, what I did was I have this I just have this jar right here. I cut up cotton washcloth and just moistened it, just some water, okay? And then just take it and place it on top of the plate, okay? Somewhat like this right here. And then started laying plates back and forth, just alternating, okay? I did mention that this is a simple cell. What I mean by that is it's simple in its construction, okay? Just simple construction. And I did mention that there wouldn't be any drilling, but I gotta take that back. Only the first two plates are drilled. You can see the tiny little hole in them, okay? First two plates are drilled. They do have holes in them, okay? Alright. I'll put a wire going through here, alright? It will be sticking out. Same for this side right here. This will be sticking out. Heard someone mention that it's best to have, when you arrange your plates, if you're going to do more than one plate, one more powered plate, you want the positive to be surrounding the negative. So you notice there's 6 positive plates. What's going to be positive plates? And 5, what would be the negative plates? Okay, so that's what you do. Right here, I have a roll of stainless steel wool. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this is some steel wool that I pulled off another cell that I was rebuilding. The way that I will distribute the right polarity to the plates and still just using one wire is by taking some of the steel wool. You can just shape it however you want to, and then I place it across the cell like this. I'll take the string and just simply just tie it off. Okay, and of course before I do that I would put one on the other side, but just to show you right away, this is what it would look like. Okay, now whatever I apply power to, when I apply power to this first plate right here, whatever's in contact, electrical contact with this plate, which the steel wool would allow, would have the same polarity. Okay, I'll do the same to the other side. So imagine there's another amount of steel wool under there making contact with these plates right here, So this is the one that's going to receive the wire going directly into it, and then the power will be, the polarity, the voltage will be distributed throughout whatever's touching that plates, which, like I said, the steel wool would allow. Okay, to control the spacing, I can also take another amount of string, just go around this way. I usually wet the string. I usually put the string in some water, because you notice how wet materials, they seem to have more tension when they're wet. Okay, so I would wet it and I will go around and around and around, you know. And of course I'll tie it off. It'll be longer than this, right? So it'll be something like this right here. And then when I'm done, okay, so when this thing is finished, I'll show a finished one outside of the container. When it's done, both sides will have the steel wool to distribute the polarities, okay. Both will be a little more compressed, okay, and then they will both have, where's this area? They both will have the wires sticking out of them, okay. So this right here, since this is the outside, this will be the positive, this will be the negative coming out of this part right here. Has some glue on it, that's why it's kind of difficult to see. Alright, there you go. And then, so it's going to have the two wires coming out, it's going to have the both steel wool on the sides, it's going to be tied off on both sides, okay. And then the last thing I do just before I place it in the can, and this is pretty much done, this will be pretty much done, before I place it in the can is, or whatever container I'm going to test it in. Usually you can put it in a coffee cup, you can put whatever you want, okay. I will use a multimeter, alright. I'll make sure I have the setting towards the continuity, alright. We have one that can check continuity, alright. And then this is what you want to do. You want to make sure that you don't hear this sound when you're checking to see if the plates are actually touching each other. Now, of course, you do want a connection with what's supposed to be connected, right? You want to make sure there is connection with what it is supposed to be connected. So this right here is connected, this right here is connected, this is connected, this is connected, and this, okay. So this right here passed the continuity test. This is the other side. Of course, it's not going to pass it because I didn't have I don't have the steel wool on it. And then even though you check the continuity, you also want to check to make sure there's no connection with what is not supposed to be connected. So I have this touching this bottom plate, and then I'm gonna I'll check the next plate, and that's exactly what you want to hear. Nothing. Okay, next one is good. The following one, this is not good. Alright, because you see, this one is supposed to have a connection with only every other plate, right? So you got this one, that one is good. The next one, okay, this is good. You're not supposed to have a connection here. This is supposed to be it. Okay, so this is what you want to do. You want to check just before you put it in. So just basically just open it up. You can just move it around a little bit and see if that changes it, which it did. Okay, so just slightly moving it, and then that's basically what you do. You go straight down. You want to make sure that things aren't set up to cause a short after you already close everything off. So like I said, when you're finally done wrapping everything tight, when you have it just the way you want it to look, the right tightness, the right spacing, and everything like that, this is what you do, and then that's what you'll end up with. I'll show another video of the finished product. Thank you.